This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Looking for these better days.
It is Thursday, April 9th. I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's what you need to know to make today a better day. The Oklahoma City Thunder clinched the 1 seed, no surprise, in the NBA's Western Conference as the regular season is winding down. The Masters tees off today, and our new and improved MLB Game Center already delivering success. Mackenzie Rivers with me on this episode of Better Day, presented by FanDuel. And Mac, we start with the Masters teeing off today. Depending on what time you're listening to this pod, the action's already underway at Augusta. If you didn't listen to our Wednesday morning pod where we were joined by Brad Thomas, now of Sportsline, he gave out some plays and some insight into how he's betting the first round and the tournament, and we have some bets up on betterday.com. But basically for the first round today, Mackenzie, we are Bryson DeChambeau fans, even with his 3D printed made irons. Did you hear about this story?
Yeah, I guess you can bring it on airplanes. Is that the idea? Why not just have a regular third iron?
It's just a 5-iron. So he built it himself, okay? He designed it himself, and that's cool. He's thinking outside the box. So we are Bryson fans, though, because
he's always been a scientist, a mad scientist.
Yes, exactly. It's like what was do you remember the Wonder Bat, right? That's and obviously I'm referring to the Simpsons episode where they referenced The Natural, right?
What a mighty wallop.
But the Wonder Boy was the bat used in The Natural, and then Homer had Wonder Bat, right?
Yeah, it was struck by lightning.
Yes, exactly. So maybe this will be Bryson DeChambeau's Wonder Club, Wonder Iron, whatever. But we have Bryson.
But why the first round? Why the first round? Why not just plus 1050 to win the whole thing?
Because of the way that he plays early in the tournaments. He is notorious for having good starts to the tournament. So we're going to capitalize on that. And again, depending on when you listen to this pod, that's going to determine what's happening right now at the Masters. But currently up on FanDuel as we record this podcast, Mackenzie, Bryson DeChambeau is 10-1 to win the event. To win round one, he is plus 1,700. So if you want to bet with us, that's what we're on, plus 1,700. I mean, we have some other bets on him, like top 10 in round one, and we have other bets for the whole tournament, but a little sprinkle on Bryson, first round leader, plus 1,700 up on FanDuel.
So you get almost double the payout, and for most golfers, you want more time to see their truth come to the fruition. But maybe for Bryson DeChambeau, we want to isolate his best time, the first round. Makes sense.
Let's have a hot start today. Let's have a hot start, and let's have some fun with our first round leader bet. So action at the Masters, we'll be covering it throughout the rest of the week here up on Better Day. And of course, picks and any adjustments or any live plays, I should say, that we're doing after first round, after second round. We'll be sending those out to Better Day Insider and Premium members. Well, speaking of Better Day Insider and Premium members, Mackenzie, they have access to our MLB Game Center, which is now new and improved, as the new features up on the MLB Game Center, which we always had the prop projections for every game, right? But now we are strictly using 2026 data, no more 2025 data. And we are not only giving prop projections, but we're also giving game score projections and the sharpest plays of the day. So you can sit there and you can go through every game. Every game on the schedule. If there's 15 games on the schedule, you're going to go through all 15 games. And you can click on the box and you can look at the individual player props and you can look at the projections, or we do the heavy lifting for you. And at the top of the page, you click on the link that says the sharp plays of the day, the top prop edges. And that'll give you the biggest edges in our projections for that day. And it'll also tell you the hit rates on that player, how many times they've gone over or under within the last, 10 games or so. And you can click on that player and get their full game log this season. So you can see right there for yourselves what they've done over the last 5-10 games or so. Mackenzie, this is hours of research in seconds in one place for you. You don't need to go to a bunch of sites. We're giving it all to you in one spot up on betterday.com.
Love it. Just give me the lamp. If you want all the treasure in the Cave of Wonders, absolutely, we got you. But if you want the picks, we got that too. Just give me the lamp and we'll take it from there.
So here's what I did yesterday. I actually took the top 3 projections that I saw up on the MLB Game Center, and I gave it out as plays, and we played them. And the first one was James Wood of the Washington Nationals to go over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. And then also there was a massive edge on just over 1.5 total bases. Now, one of them was a plus money price, so I figured, you know what, listen, let's play them both because we can certainly scoop both, but we can also just hit one of them and cash a nice plus money price or whatever. Well, in his first 2 at-bats, Mackenzie Rivers, we cashed this. James Wood goes 2 for 2 in his first 2 at-bats, and we cashed the over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs and over 1.5 total bases. Second play of the day was from the Cincinnati Reds, their first baseman, Sal Stewart, to go over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. Again, this is just taking the top projections that's right there on the page for you at our MLB Game Center. This was identified as one of the top projections of the day. My man Stu, 2 for 4, scoring 2 runs with 2 RBIs and a home run, Mackenzie Rivers. And the other play, oh, by the way, there was also another play in that Nationals game that I didn't play because it was laying a little bit of juice and I was a little bit nervous about it. And it was the first day that I was using these projections. And I was like, I don't know. But it was for Jordan Walker of the St. Louis Cardinals to go over his total bases. And I was like, he goes 1 for 4 with a home run, of course. So he clearly goes over his total bases. But the other play that we gave out was Ben Rice of the New York Yankees to go over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. In fact, this was the free play up on betterday.com yesterday. Well, the reason why these projections work so well, Mac, is because it's utilizing StatCast data. It's not just the the basic stats of what a player's doing, right?
Right.
It's the underlying metrics, the hard hit rate, the barrel rate, exit velo, launch angle, it's the swing rate, right? Are you swinging it? Are you swinging and missing? Whiff rate? Are you swinging at bad pitches? All that stuff. Everything goes into these projections. Well, no one has had a better batted ball profile than Ben Rice on the New York Yankees. I mean, he has been electric to start the season. Literally, he leads the Yankees going into yesterday, leads the Yankees in hard hit rate, leads the Yankees in expected WOBA, weighted on base average, expected slugging percentage. Like, his numbers are just incredible. The problem was yesterday, Mackenzie, he did not even put bat to ball. Ben Rice goes
Got the
0
golden
for 4.
sombrero.
0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts, and I think he's still looking at pitches going right down the middle. So your batted ball profile can look great, but when you don't put bat on ball, it's not going to do any well. So that was our swing and miss. But hey, 2-1 playing the top projections on our MLB Game Center. I mean, that's just it's only the beginning, only the tip of the iceberg. That is exclusively available for Better Day Insider and
there's
Premium
4
members.
plays up at all times. So if one play it gets taken down, the next best play is up as one of the sharper plays for subscribers.
I mean, there's something that's always there. And, when a game starts, the play comes off the board. So it's very intuitive. It's all there at your fingertips. And then also, I mean, you could just click on any game you want, and it gives you, once we have the lineups, it gives you the projected box score for the entire game. You get the weather report for the game. Everything that you need to bet on baseball is there for you on our MLB Game Center. And this also includes like our NBA Game Center, which has the estimated plus minus projections for player props and for game outcomes. Like there's so many tools up on betterday.com that I am decided to give every new member a free 3-day free trial. So here's what you have to do to get that free trial. Just go to my Twitter account at ScottsOnAir, SCOTTSONAIR, or follow us all on Twitter at better_day, and you will see the tweet that I sent out yesterday promoting the MLB Game Center, along with a link to click and sign up for your 3-day free trial to see all the tools that we have to offer up on betterday.com. Here's your schedule in Major League Baseball for this Thursday. It's just a short schedule. We have a couple of day games. The Reds are at the Marlins, going for Miami, a minus 131 favorite. Max Meyer on the mound. On the mound for the Reds is Rhett Lauder. Great name. A's are at the Yankees. Jeffrey Springs for the A's. And going for the Yankees is Ryan Weathers, where the Yankees minus 210 up on FanDuel. The Tigers are at the Twins. Jack Flaherty for the Tigers, and going for the Twins is Mick Abel. I think he'll be able to do something. I wish I had the last 5 seconds of my life back. Eduardo Rodriguez on the mound for the Diamondbacks at the Mets, and Nolan McLean, the stud for the Mets. Mets minus 163. White Sox at the Royals. Seth Lugo for the Royals. Anthony Kay for the White Sox, and the Rockies at the Padres. Randy Vasquez for the Padres, and undecided goes for the Rockies. No, not a pitcher named undecided. They just haven't announced a starting pitcher just yet. All right, let's get into the NBA, where Mackenzie, the number one seed in the Western Conference, has been clinched. Well, no surprise, the Oklahoma City Thunder are your one seed in the NBA's Western Conference. They are 64-16. I guess there was maybe some thought that the Spurs could catch them, but not to be, because Oklahoma City beat the Clippers last night, 128-110. They were 8.5-point favorites, Mackenzie, and they win and cover, winning by 18.
Yeah, good call by us on yesterday morning's show. 6.5 didn't seem like enough. The rule of inertia applies. The Thunder don't need much to play for to keep it rolling. They are now well above their win total of 62, which seemed pretty high, one of the higher historical preseason win totals. The Spurs probably going to pass that too, but not enough to keep pace with the Thunder.
Well, the Spurs did win as well last night without Victor Wembanyama. This was another good call by you on the pod. As you said, it didn't matter whether Wemby played or not. You would still lay it there with the Spurs. They win 112-101. And yes, we are all holding our breath to see if Wemby can play 20 minutes in one of their remaining 2 games. Other finals from last night in the NBA, the Magic, we talked about them playing with desperation. They win 132-120 over the Timberwolves. Cade Cunningham returned for the Detroit Pistons, Mackenzie. They blow out the Bucks 137-111, but Cade Cunningham returned with a double-double, 13 points on 6 of 11 shooting, 10 assists in 26 minutes.
Yeah, no defense was played in the game. Very much a good exhibition to get your sea legs back. Efficient, 26 points, 10 assists. Kind of a player that's going to get along where he fits in. So I don't think it's any kind of readjustment period like a lot of lead guards coming back. Not like it matters this time of year.
Well, here's what's going on right now in the standings in the NBA as we were counting down the days until the final day of the regular season on Sunday. In the Eastern Conference, still don't know who's going to get into the playoffs and who's going to get into the play-in round, because we have the Hawks at 45-35 as the 5 seed, a half game up on the Raptors for the 6 seed, who are a half game up on the Magic for a 7 seed, who are a half game up on the Sixers for the 8 seed, who are a half game up on the Hornets for the 9 seed. So
yeah,
that's
it matters at the bottom.
Yes.
Retract that statement. It matters at the bottom.
Yes. So
I'm surprised to see the Sixers at 8. Wow, they've really fallen off.
It's going to be a lot of fun to see what happens here over the next couple of days. And in the Western Conference, the play-in round is set. Well, at least we know who's going to be in the play-in round, because there's still a chance. Clippers are the 8th seed at 41-39. They're one game up on the Blazers for the 9 seed. We know that the Suns will be the 7. We know that the Warriors will be the 10. We just don't know if the Clippers are going to be the 8 or the Clippers are going to be the 9. So that's what's to play for in the final couple of days here of the regular season. Let's take a look at the schedule for tonight. Wizards hosting the Bulls. Chicago 6-point favorites. The Heat are at the Raptors. Toronto 4-point favorites. Nets hosting the Pacers. Pacers 3.5-point favorites. Celtics at the Knicks. The Knicks 5-point favorites against the Boston Celtics. Mackenzie, it's player availability obviously, but what do you think about a game here that the Knicks trying to stay as the 3 seed, or do they want to be the 4 seed? Like, do you think there's gamesmanship going on here with the New York Knicks in the final games of the regular season?
It seems like the prize is to be the 4 seed to me. However, the Hawks and the Knicks was a great time to kind of come up lame and my elbow hurts. But no, the Knicks came back in the second half and won that game. So it appears to me that they want to get the 3 seed. That said, 5 seems like a lot of points versus the Celtics. Celtics have nothing to play for. Just like the Thunder, they are a machine that seems to keep on rolling any time of year.
Why is the 4 better than the 3?
The 4 is better than the 3 because you're going to face the Hawks versus facing.
But aren't you? But then yeah. What? But then you're lined up like if you're the 3 seed. You're potentially playing. Well, you know what? I guess you're right, because if you're the 4 seed, you're going to line up with the Pistons eventually, in the Eastern Conference semis.
There's any benefit, other than home court, which would be great, I guess, in a potential future matchup. But playing the Detroit in the second round is probably easier than
playing
Celtics
Boston.
Knicks. Definitely not any harder. But I was kind of looking at the Sixers being the 6th seed of the Magic. The Raptors wouldn't be much harder than the Hawks. Both of those teams, I think, have a higher floor but also a lower ceiling. So maybe that's why the Knicks just want to play good basketball this time of year.
All right. Well, Knicks 5-point favorites at home over the Boston Celtics. Rockets 3.5-point home favorites over the Sixers. Let's see. Houston right now is in possession of the 5 seed, tied with the Lakers for the 4 seed, and you mentioned the Sixers are now the 8 seed, so there is a chance that the Sixers could drop to the 9 seed, but also the Rockets, how important is it for them to get ahead of the Lakers and be the 4 seed, which would mean home court advantage in a first-round series?
And the Lakers are a prize to get, so you want to keep the 5 seed, but you don't have to worry about being 4 or 5. 4 is better, because I don't think Luka is going to be back. I don't think Austin Reeves is going to be back in any timely manner. Pretty clear max motivation for both teams here. Give me the Rockets.
I lean Rockets. And then Warriors, 4.5-point favorites at home against the Lakers. Warriors not playing for anything except for, just getting themselves ready for the playing game.
Yeah, Steph Curry's barely been back. They haven't played with them. So I think especially against the rival Lakers, they care about this game.
I think they do as well. All right, let's talk about the action on the ice tonight as the regular season is winding down. We have a busy schedule here on tonight's schedule. There's no games on Friday. There's no games tomorrow. And then we have a full slate of games on Saturday and then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Like next week, the season ends, I believe it's next Thursday, the 18th. So, but here's what's going on for tonight. Shout out to one of our Better Day Insider or actually Better Day Premium members, our guy Jake, who talked about how the Penguins are on a ridiculous overrun right now, 15-2 to the over, and the Detroit Penguins will be at the New Jersey Devils. So you might want to take a look at the over between the Penguins and the Devils. Elsewhere on the schedule, it is the first game, Mackenzie, for the New York Islanders since they fired their head coach, Patrick Waugh. I know you were very upset about that.
Very upset.
Do we give them the fired coach boost like we've seen from the Vegas Golden Knights so far here at the end of the season? And let me just say that they are minus 260 favorites tonight at home against the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Well, unlike VGK, who was inspired by John Turturro, I don't think firing Patrick Waugh has the same effect. I think it has the opposite effect. A legend
Ooh.
has left the building. They are going down tonight. You heard it here
Wow.
first from the hockey expert Mackenzie Rivers.
Okay. Buffalo, a minus 125 favorite at home against the Blue Jackets. Canadiens host the Lightning. Tampa, a small minus 115 favorite. Look at this. Ottawa, a minus 285 favorite at home against the Florida Panthers. Oh, the mighty have fallen in Florida. That's what injuries will do to you. A little reset year. Little reset. You can't go to the Stanley Cup every year. Can't go to the final every year, right? You got to take a reset. The Warriors did this. Like, everyone does this, right? You got to take a reset.
You want to have a title defense and at least make it to the playoffs. But
listen, they've done it. You can't do it every year, Mackenzie. How many years in a row?
They'll
you
be
want
back.
this team to do it? They'll be back. Of course, they'll be back. Yeah. Elsewhere, Red Wings minus 125 home favorites against the Flyers. Pivotal game there. You got the Blues hosting the Jets. St. Louis minus 115. Hurricanes at the Blackhawks. Carolina minus 230. Dallas minus 125 at home against the Wild. The Avalanche minus 340 at home against the Flames. Utah minus 162 at home against the Predators. I don't like calling them the Mammoth. I think the Utah Hockey Club was just a nice name. I like calling them Utah. Like, I don't know. If they named the new NBA team in Vegas, let's say, if they were just like LVBC, if they were just like the Las Vegas Basketball Club or something like that, right? And you just called them Vegas. Like, every time you referred to them, you weren't like the Fire are hosting the Knicks, or like
Barcelona. You don't say FC Barcelona. You just say Barcelona.
Exactly.
The city is the club. More
exactly. Would it like doesn't it just make so much sense? Like, just that's it. Just refer to them as the city. It's fine.
I like plural as a singular and singular as a plural. How about the Las Vegas Murder? Like a group of crows, and our mascot's the crows, but we're the murder.
Terrible.
I like it.
What should have happened? What should have happened years ago is, and I know that there was extenuating circumstances surrounding this, but when the Sacramento Kings were in jeopardy and the Maloofs owned the Kings, right? The Maloofs used to own the Palms here in Vegas, right? And so you could have moved the franchise to Vegas, but at that time the NBA was anti-Vegas, right? And then obviously there was a whole bunch of other stuff with the Maloofs, and they had to sell all their properties and everything. Whatever. Anyway, but think about it. You could have had the Aces and the Kings in Vegas. It just would have made total sense.
Also known as the Big Ugly, the Ace King pre-flop, or the Big Slick, according to Google.
It is the Big Slick. I've never called it the Big Ugly. It's always Big Slick.
That was the first one.
Or does Big Slick have to be suited or no?
Ugly is off suit. Yep. You called it.
Yeah.
Big Slick is suited.
Big
Usually
Slick
spades is very popular.
Yeah, Big Slick has. Would you? All right. Here's a poker math question for you. Would you rather have Ace King or Jacks?
I think Jacks is a 51% play. That's just like a known thing, but it's very. I
All
mean,
right, you have to make
how many other players are in the hand with me? What position am I? But if I'm heads up all in, I don't feel great either way. But I'd probably take Jacks.
Okay, here you are. You limp under the gun with Ace King.
Okay.
Somebody goes all in third or fourth position. Comes back around to you.
If I have like 300 chips and they have like 150, I'll give them some action. I'll play. Yeah, I'll push them.
Do you got the stones to lay it? To fold it? No.
No, I mean, yeah. If I'm, it depends. If they have the same amount of chips as me, I probably fold because I'm either even or worse.
But you're right, because it does matter if there's other action in the pot. Because if somebody else is raising, you got to figure that one of them has an ace or a king, right? And so then if the next person,
if it's three-way action, I have ace king. I'm very happy. I got a lot of outs.
Yes, I agree with that. But if he's the only person raising, I think you have to fold.
Oh yeah.
And by the way, I don't mean to say that it's a he. It could be a she. Like, we don't discriminate.
Sometimes it wasn't. Yeah. This is my greatest moment in poker history. About 3 weeks into being a professional poker player, I was up like $500 at the Bellagio. I go to I think it was the Aria next. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And guy goes all in after I had re-raised, and I folded, and he flipped over. I believe it was kings, and I had queens or something. There's nothing like a good fold like that. He didn't have to show me, and I would have been pissed the whole night if he didn't. But when he showed me and I folded queens to kings, I'll never have a better moment in my whole life.
That's a great moment. When I played in what was it? The WPT thing. Was it last year or 2 years ago? I think it was last year. They had the $1 million free roll, right? First live poker tournament I played in probably 10 years. I don't even know. Like it's been a long time, right? And I just like got blinded out like for so long. I was just like afraid to play like any hands. And then it just happens, like it happens to the best of us, right? And I am not a seasoned tournament poker player. I was always a cash player, right? So like tournaments is a completely different strategy. But when I'm sitting there folding every hand and I'm counting my blinds, and I only have like 7 blinds, like, like I know that I'm just gonna get blinded out to death. I got jacks, and I just like I was like, I'm all in no matter what, right?
Yeah,
the
only question is right now or after the flop. That's the only question.
Well, the thing was, based off of like some of the pre-flop action, I should have clearly folded because there was like two different people in the pot, and like I should have known that like clearly.
There's only like 3 hands that. I mean, I feel like with 7 blinds, how do you fold that?
I don't listen, Mackenzie. I don't remember if I had exactly 7. I just knew that I knew that I was like 2 hours in, and I barely played any hands, right? And
when they look at, they're the same card, both the first one and the second one. It gives you that feeling like we're doing this.
I should have folded. It was like so obvious, and I just like played it, and I was like, "What am I doing?" And then like after the flop came, and like it was like
there
the
was
other
more
guys
action. You're like, "Fuck."
the other guys were doing their like side pot or whatever, and I'm just like sitting watching, and I'm like, "What do they possibly have?" And then nothing, and then like I see like the aces on the board, the queens on the board, whatever. One guy flips over queens, another guy has ace king, and I'm sitting here with my jacks going, "Well, I should have folded." Like that was dumb.
Another day.
That was clearly dumb. Well, speaking of Vegas, they are at the Kraken tonight. VGK minus 190 favorites.
We must protect this house.
We must. Well, they're in Seattle, so maybe Seattle has to protect that house. I heard that the winner of that game gets the NBA team first, though.
They should do that. Do that.
That's
and the winner gets to call themselves the Sonics.
All right, good luck to anybody who's sweating out their Masters plays. As a reminder, we are giving away, not still, I just announced it today, so we are giving away a three-day free trial. Free 3 days. Say that 10 times fast. Just go to my Twitter page at Scott's On Air or follow us on Twitter at better_day, and you will see my tweet, on the MLB Game Center, promoting the MLB Game Center, and you will see the link to click on in order to get your free 3-day trial and check out all the tools that Better Day has for you so you can become a better. For Mackenzie Rivers, I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's hoping you make today and every day a better day.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.